Well, thank you, everyone, for being here. This is awesome. Our first ever town hall meeting via Zoom. And our new president, alternate governor, Mike Waddell, is here tonight. Guys, you're really going to like Mike. He is, not only do I love him because he comes from the radio world, has that background that I enjoyed for so many years, but he is really wanting to be engaged with the fans and hear what you guys have to say. Obviously, we're not always going to have the right answer, but the good news is we'll have an answer for you. And that's what we're doing here tonight. We have several people who have emailed us questions, so we'll get to those. But before we do, I almost feel like Ed McMahon here. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mike.
Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate everybody tuning in here on a lovely Monday night in North Texas and wherever you're tuning in from. We have Tommy coming to us from Military Installation Parts Unknown in South Carolina. Our Vice President for Broadcast Communications. We have Katie Ruthard, who's our new Director of Digital Marketing and Analytics, also coming to us from South Carolina. So we have the East Coast Americans front office, and then the right here in the Central Time Zone of God's Country in Texas, USA. But thank everybody for coming out. I joined the Allen Americans on March the 25th. That was my first active day, but was in Orlando, Florida all the way until June 1st when it was my first day in the office. And really, if I didn't have just the consummate professional, Mr. Americans, Tommy Daniels, by my side, our offices were right next to each other for that first month. And he's been invaluable to teach me about the traditions, the culture, the family that is the Allen Americans. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Katie, of course, had the idea to do this, so I appreciate that. And both of them on vacation right now, but still taking the time to give us their service. And that really is one of our true hallmarks of what we're about. I can't speak to what was done before me. I really can't look forward by looking behind. So I'm going to drive out of the windshield instead of the rearview mirror. Everything's pointing forward. And Tommy, with that, we'll quit babbling and I'll start answering some questions. Who do we have up first?
All right, we're going to go to, this would be the aforementioned or the previously mentioned Dixie Jeffers, who sent us this question. Mike, how confident are you in the Americans for the upcoming 2021 season per the following? Will Allen be able to sign enough players with the late start of the NHL season and likely late start of the American Hockey League season? How will the Allen Event Center, City of Allen, and other regulators allow spectators into the event center doors for Americans hockey games? As a season ticket holder, I should have a credit on my account for games canceled from 1920. Mike, do you want to just start with that right there? I know there was a bunch in there, so if you need me to repeat any of it, I'll be happy to.
No, I've got actually, this was Don Trahan's question. Dixie asked us about whether or not it was going to be a virtual town hall, so and if it would be on demand. So yes, Dixie, you can run this back for all eternity. It will live on the internet forever. For Don Trahan, first of all, how confident am I about the Americans for the upcoming 21-21 season? And will we be able to sign enough players with the late start of the NHL and likely late start of the AHL season? Well, first thing I can tell you is I talk to Steve Martinson every week. He's up on the river in Illinois right now, and he's putting together a great roster. It's really going to be a lot of fun to watch. We're fortunate to have the best general manager and head coach in the ECHL. He won the GM of the Year award this past season, as you all know. So I trust in Marty to do everything on the ice. I'll take care of the things off the ice and help him out where I can. But the one thing that we agreed on very early in my tenure here, I think at our first phone call, I said when I was running the pro football team, the one thing I learned was I didn't mess with the coaches on the football field, and they were very kind to let me run the operation off the field. So we'll try that same here. It tended to work to where we got a championship ring on the football field. But I appreciate Coach Martinson's excellence, and really, and we'll talk about this a lot. It might be a theme that we come to several times. Is that the charge that I've been given is to lead this team off the ice, and my goal to our team is to try to elevate our performance as a front office to match the excellence and the culture that Marty has brought to us on the ice. So that'll be exciting. Regarding the late start for the NHL and the AHL, That hasn't been announced yet. So there are a lot of things that are being talked about. We have our next Board of Governors meeting in the ECHL on August the 4th, so a week from tomorrow. So as soon as we know something about what's going on with the other leagues, that may or may not have an impact on us. I can't answer that for sure. And the one thing I won't do is I'll never sit here and talk to you about rumors or innuendo. I'm not going to tell you about what I think. I'll share with you about what I know, because that's the best way to keep our communication on the straight and narrow. So hopefully you'll appreciate that. The next part of Dan's question was, how would the Allen Event Center, City of Allen, and other regulators allow spectators into indoor events like Americans hockey games? I don't know. If I were to answer that question today, it's going to change tomorrow. It's going to change on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and every day in between. So what I can tell you is, as you know, the City of Allen operates the Allen Event Center. Like other venues in the state, we're all subject to guidance from Austin and Governor Abbott. As we sit here tonight, we have clearance for 50% capacity. And after that, they apply social distancing. So if we were going to go on today at 50% capacity, that's roughly 2,700. And then we put in social distancing to that, it's a lot less than that. My friends at the Baltimore Ravens have sent out things to their season ticket holders saying that they're going to have about 20% capacity in their stadium with the NFL this year. I've talked with friends earlier today at Clemson. My son works for the Clemson Athletics Department, and they're looking for anything between 15 and 30% capacity in their stadium. But those are both outdoor venues. So indoor venues can be a little bit more problematic, but we don't know. And so if we don't know, I really can't speak to that. Right now, our first home game today is July 27th. Our home game is almost exactly, and now it's 80 days, 24 or 23 hours and 58 minutes. So we're set to go on October the 16th at 7:05 against the Rapid City Rush. And I look forward to getting win number 1 right there. And that's our schedule until somebody tells me different, and they've not told me different. I would say, all you got to do is look around, and it's a tough situation. I went to Texas Motor Speedway for the first major athletics event a few weeks ago, and it was a sparse crowd, only about 5,000 fans when they had seats for 60,000 and a capacity of 120,000. So what are some of the things that we're going to do to ensure your safety? I can tell you that I made the decision to go to totally electronic ticketing for the 2021 season. I want to have as many things touchless, and if people can't access those things on their phones, well, then we'll work with you in some fashion, but we're going to minimize at all costs the exchange of items, and we want to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible. We're also talking with the City of Allen about the Allen Event Center being a cashless transaction zone. I can tell you inside of our team store on game nights and when we resume regular operations later this summer, that will be a cashless transaction only. We won't be taking cash or coins. And, hopefully that is the case for the Allen Event Center as well when it comes to the food and beverage side that we don't control and we have very little influence over at all. Let's see here. And again, as for hypotheticals to Dan's question, let's see how things develop and move forward from the football season. I think that's going to drive a lot of what we're looking at when it comes to October and our launch time, and we'll go from there. But again, I'm always going to talk with you straight about facts. I'm not going to inject in a lot of hyperbole or things that may or may not happen. So hopefully that answers your question, Dan. Next up, I think we have Stephen Rhodes, Tommy.
Yeah, he's on here, but we'll go ahead and go to his question. For those who pre-purchased playoff tickets, how will that money be refunded?
Sure. As I understand it, playoff tickets were not charged to your cards. Now, if for some reason you were charged and you can show us that, we need that email at tickets@allenamericans.com. If you send us a copy of your credit card statement, we'll call you one-on-one and take care of that. I dealt with one person the other day who had come to our offices in March and dealt with our operations staff for about 40, or ticket operations staff for about 45 minutes about establishing a different billing pattern for their new season tickets. That was set up to be April, May, June, and July. It was July. They hadn't received the bill yet. So they got on the phone with myself and Chase Richardson out of our ticket group. We were able to solve that thing in 10 minutes. So if we do have a challenge that we need to correct, we'll do so, and do so hopefully in short order.
Perfect. Next question will be from Mary Betts. And she wants to know, there's a rumor going around that Jack Galati is selling the team to Iowa and relocating. Can you dispel that rumor?
Well, as you said right there, Mary, and Tommy, you repeated it. It was a rumor, okay? And I can tell you that the team is not on the market right now. That is not the case. And thus, we are not selling the franchise to Iowa. The Iowa Wild are owned by the Minnesota Wild, and they're not looking to add another team right now. I talked to Ryan Creelan about that today, and that's what I was told. So I can dispel that rumor 100%.
Hi, Mike. Next one comes from Dan Trahan. It says, how confident are you the Americans for the upcoming season? As you kind of talked about that earlier, will Allen be able to sign enough players with the late start of the NHL? And for whatever reason, mine is skipping up here. I apologize, guys.
Yeah,
I'm trying to read it off.
The next one, I think, is Gary Williams, and he starts it out with, hey, Mike.
All right, let's go that one right down there.
6.
Here we go. This is from Gary, as you mentioned. I'm a longtime season ticket holder of the team and love attending games. To be honest, I'm concerned with the direction of the team it's taking in the front office. The pandemic that caused the season to be cut short has been a real disaster. Now many of the faces that were familiar faces for a long time are gone, and new people were brought in. They are probably good folks, but they don't know the season ticket holders, don't know the ticketing system, and we don't have any relationship with those people. Although changes sometimes are good, are you planning to bring back any familiar faces before the start of the season?
Sure thing. First, thanks for your support of the team, Gary. I appreciate the question. You're the third Gary Williams that I've known in my life. So, third time's a charm. Maybe you'll be the best out of the three. Second, the one constant in sports, especially at the minor league level, was change. On the ice and off the ice. 2 years ago, as I'm told, and Tommy gave me this bit of information. 2 years ago, Marty didn't have the season that he wanted with the team, and we missed the playoffs for the only time in our history. In the offseason, he rebuilt the team, and last year we had a great year, and we're likely headed for our 5th championship in the last 11 years. The premature end of the season cut that short. I accepted the offer to take over the Americans in late March, and yes, we've made some changes. At the present time, we are working with a reduced staff due to the furloughs and COVID-19. This is not something that's unique to the Allen Americans. A lot of businesses have gone through that, and we're a small business, and we have the challenges just like, a lot of others. These furloughs began in late June. Many other teams around the ECHL began their furloughs as soon as the season was canceled back in March. We have a business to run, and our offseason this year will be 6.5 months instead of 4 months. That's a tough one right there. It's almost a full quarter extension, and that's tough. It's tough on cash flow. It's tough on a lot of things. But we made the decision, and that decision laid with me. Let's see. We're managing our affairs very efficiently. As for not knowing the season ticket holders, we're going to get to know you. We're going to do things like this tonight. As soon as the NHL gets back to playing games, we're going to start having watch parties, probably over at Doty's, maybe at Kelly's, some other one of our partner locations, because we want to meet people. We've gone through our storage closets. We found a lot of cool stuff that we're going to not only put on our new Dash auction site, but also some door prizes that we'll give to people when they come out. And we want you to meet our new staff. We've got a lot of new people coming in, but we have the MVP right here on the call with us tonight, and Tommy Daniels. And again, he's been invaluable to me. As about the ticket systems, Ticketmaster is what we use, and Ticketmaster is pretty much the gold standard. It's kind of like what everybody uses for the most part. So I'm not too concerned about using the learning a new ticket system, because I've used it for the better part of 30 years. So we'll go forward with that one. Let's see here. Wrote out some notes here. Let's see. In the end, like Marty is in charge of the product on the ice, I'm charged with the product off the ice. Our number one priority is being the best front office in the ECHL, and I feel like we're on our way to having that here in Allen. Really like the direction that we're headed. The heart and soul of the club is Tommy. He's the only front office member that's been here from day one. He is my right hand, and I doubt anybody on this call or off will question his passion for the club. So I can pledge to you that everybody in our front office is a detail-oriented, committed professional, and our mindset is to serve the fans first. If we make a mistake, and I've talked to a few of you on the call tonight, I've talked to a lot more off, but if we make a mistake, we're going to own it. I'm going to sit there and make excuses. We're going to find a way to solve it. We're going to be done with it. Hopefully, we're not going to make the same mistake again. It's no different than what you want out of a player or a coach. You know, we want to have a strong foundation and establish the work over the next few months to have the type of data quality and reliability and systems that we need to have. That doesn't exist right now. I asked for a letter to go out to our season ticket holders, the ones who had renewed, the ones who hadn't renewed. And to my surprise, we got some back. Some didn't even make it to you because our data wasn't great. And some of the letters to the did not renew pile had actually renewed. And so we're going back through right now, and we're going to confirm every transaction that has gone on since our renewal period began on February 1st. Probably not the way that our new senior director of ticket operations and sales wanted to come in and start, but you know, it's not the most exciting thing. We'd rather be selling tickets, but right now we're going to go through and we're going to confirm every transaction and make sure that it's going well. There's no excuse for not having your data right. We've dropped a new email out there. Actually, it's not a new email. The next thing's new. But if you have a problem with your tickets, email us at tickets@allenamericans.com. We'll get that information and we will run it back. In terms of our fan council, that was selected over the weekend. Katie Ruthart is going over some fine tuning of that while she's on vacation this week. But she's our new director of digital marketing and analytics, and she'll announce our fan council. And then we'll have our first meeting sometime in August, I believe. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And in the past, there's been a business advisory board, okay? But the people who made up the business advisory board weren't really clients or sponsors of the team. So we've kind of done a reset. We're going to have our fan council. That's made up of fans like yourself on this call tonight. And these folks will advise us and will keep us in the know of things that are going on in the fan base. And that's critical. It's not going to be our only means of reaching out, but it's going to be our primary one. With the business advisory board that will be reformed, it's going to be done with our top corporate partners, people who spend money with the club, and also important people in the community who can help us move our brand forward. We need to be thinking about the next 10 years. We've had a great first 11 seasons or 10 and a half seasons. We need to be thinking about the next 10 and the next 10 after that. And we have to have great strategic people who are guiding us in that way. So in even number of months, I guess you could say, the fan council will meet. In odd number of months, the business advisory board will meet, and we'll get a strong contingent of advice coming in. So we're excited about that, and hopefully that answers your question.
All right, Gilly Estes should be up next. Recently reviewed my Allen Americans Ticketmaster account and did not see where I received any type of credit for the games that were canceled due to COVID-19. I was under the impression that these would be credited to my account and could be used as payment for the upcoming season's tickets. I sent a message via the Contact Us form on the website requesting an accounting of my season ticket account on July 21st about 5:30 p.m. I have yet to hear back from anyone. I'm concerned that the dollars we should have been credited for the cancellation of the last season have not been applied to our accounts. Can you please advise on how that was handled and when the credits were applied?
Well, we reached out to Gilly today, and we reached out to to make sure that we got this stuff right. So, and again, I'll say this to anybody. If you have a problem with the credits on your account from last year to this year, go ahead and drop us a note at tickets@allenamericans.com. again, we are working with a reduced staff right now, and I apologize for the inconvenience that has caused. We tried to forward the calls to one location. We're trying to get back to everybody as soon as possible. But if we get an email, we'll hop on that stuff right away. We have people coming in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to make those calls, and we'll take care of it. Like I said, one lady came in, spent 45 minutes in March, thought she had everything good to go. It was not good to go. We solved her problem in about 10 minutes the other day, and she's happy as a clam now. So that's good to know. And best way I can tell you is that we'll take care of it and we'll move forward.
Okay. Up next, Pam Bonner. If I did not renew for this season, when can I expect a refund for last season's cancelable games credited to my account?
We've reached out to Pam Bonner. And again, if you can email us at tickets@allenamericans.com, we'll work with you directly on your specific account and get that taken care of. It's my understanding and talking to the staff here that if you automatically bought playoff tickets for last year, that we never charged you for those. So again, if your account was charged for some reason, please just show us that and we'll take care of that moving forward. If you're not renewing season tickets this year, we're going to give you a refund for the 5 games or so that you missed last year. And if you are coming back this year, we want to make sure that you get that 5-game credit on your account. No funny stuff right here, but as I said earlier, some of our information isn't the best. And so we're calling around right now, and we're just trying to double and triple check things to make sure that we're being the best steward of your trust. And we appreciate your investment and time.
All right, Mary Beth, what, if anything, is being done to extend Marty's contract? Will there be any enhancements to season ticket holders this coming season?
Well, hopefully you'll see a lot of enhancements this season, most notably the fact that we're going to improve upon the equity. And we're going to give you, touch points and events on a 12-month basis. One of the things I've talked about with Tommy and about the season ticket holders that I have started to build relationships with is that they say, we hear from you during the season, but as soon as the off season goes, we rarely hear from you, or you'll have an event, but it's not a regular course of action. So number one, we're changing the way we think. We're not looking at it as a season to season investment. We're looking at it as a annual investment, and our years just keep on going and going and going. There is no off season really where we're concerned. One thing that you're really going to notice is that we have a brand new website that's coming out, and we're targeting the 1st of September for this. So one of the things that I noticed very early on when you're learning a brand new team that you're charged with running, and you only have a website to go by, you pick up a lot of things. And I just didn't feel like we were telling our story very effectively, and we weren't presenting content on a worthwhile basis that was coming back on any type of consistent schedule. So one of the things, and we're very blessed again to have Tommy, because he's just been a real workhorse for us throughout this pandemic of churning out content after content, some hockey related, some just culture related, but he's putting out content. There's really nobody better. So we're going to maximize Tommy's efficiency. We have some other content that we're talking to people about producing, but that'll be every day of the week. We're going to have a new piece of content that comes out on our website talking about your Allen Americans. We're not going to get the regular sports coverage from NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, from Fox Sports Texas, for any of the regional sports networks. We've got to make our own coverage, and I think that's something that you'll be able to drink up. And some of it will be stuff that you like, and some of it might not be your cup of tea. But we're going to give you a lot of content and continue to improve upon what was already good, and to give you some new things as well. So that's a big deal. In terms of the Marty's contract, Marty and I, again, we talked about this earlier. He and I talk regularly. He's happy right now being up on the river and enjoying up there, but the guy works all the time. He is a slave to talking to players, and really, he should have been a college coach, because that sucker can recruit. And people want to come play for Steve Martinson down here. He's the winningest American-born professional hockey coach in the history. Okay, and he's only 201 wins behind Scotty Bowman. So we have a treasure right here. And as soon as he's ready to talk about, his plans for the future, both Mr. Galati and myself will sit down and talk with Marty. And if he chooses to, seek another contract, we're going to be right here, and we'll have those discussions at that time.
All right, up next from Troy Burmaster, he's got a couple of questions here. What is the status of the ownership of the team? Kind of addressed that earlier. And what is the future of this franchise in the ECHL? And if not in the ECHL, would it possibly move to the American Hockey League down the road? And that's from Troy.
Sure thing. Well, Jack Galati, again, is the owner of the Allen Americans. Our short-term and long-term plans are to continue to be the best team on the ice in the ECHL and to have our front office start to live up to that same standard of excellence in terms of our off-the-ice service back to you, our fans. At no time has anyone ever mentioned leaving the ECHL for any reason, and that's the best way to put it. The AHL has a team in Austin right now, the Texas Stars. I don't think anybody really has an interest in going to play in the SPHL. ECHL is a growing league. We have lots of cities that are being talked about for expansion right now, some in Canada, some here in the United States, and I think that bodes well for this league. We have 26 teams right now. We're in 20 states and 2 Canadian provinces, and it's an exciting time to be in this league. I actually started my career while I was still in college in the ECHL. I worked for then Commissioner Pat Kelly, coming right out of college too on a contract basis. So I know Pat very well. I worked for ECHL Hall of Fame owner Bill Coffey, who is one of the founders, along with Henry Brabham of this league. 4 members of our Greensboro Monarchs team are now in the ECHL Hall of Fame. Nick Batusi, Daryl Noren, Phil Berger, and again, the owner, Bill Coffey. So just could not be more excited to be back in this league and to hopefully bring a 3rd championship home here to Allen this coming summer and tie up South Carolina for the most ECHL championships ever.
All right, Mike, next one is from Michael Cheney. Wants to know where Biscuits been. Also, why is his team store always closed when I go to buy something? In-laws were in town the past couple weeks, and I wanted to buy them Americans gear. Each time I went to the store, it wasn't open, and there's not been hours of operation on the door. And that is, again, from Michael Cheney.
Sure. Good question, Michael. Biscuit's actually in cahoots with Elon Musk. He's planning a mission to Mars. No, I'm just kidding. Biscuit's fine. And he'll be at our events as we get back to having events in the community here in August. So stay tuned. We'll also see you at the open skate that we have coming up here in a few weeks for all of our season ticket holders that have renewed. We're going to do that. We'll have 2 shifts, I believe. Katie can chime in, but I believe we're going to have 2 shifts of 100 fans each on an RSVP basis coming up here very soon in August. So we look forward to having Biscuit out there, and he'll give you his high paw. Maybe it's an air paw right now, so we might not want to touch everybody with the high five, but Biscuit's fine. He's looking forward to the advent of the 2021 campaign and getting ready for another ring to put on his paw. As for the team store, we reduced the retail hours like a lot of retail units have with COVID-19. There just isn't a lot of business in there. So to keep that store open right now, it was really counterproductive. So we have shut it down for the short term. We're trying to regroup. We have some new merchandise lines that we're going to be adding in. Hopefully we're going to have some nice masks coming soon that'll be branded and can be very affordable for you. We've been working with a company out of Utah on that. That's an ECHL licensee. And remember, our store is open right now online 24/7, but it's not a very good store online. And let's be honest, sometimes when you look at your own operations, you got to be honest about it. And our online store isn't the best graphically or visually. So that, along with our website, is being optimized right now for e-commerce and will be an entirely new experience come the 1st of September. So we appreciate your patience with that. And hopefully you're enjoying the new Dash auction site. And soon we'll be enjoying new and improved AllenAmericans.com and online store.
Up next, Mark Shack. How do you plan on addressing social distancing with all the season ticket holders? 80% of the seats around us are season ticket holders. If you could, please address those concerns.
That's a great question, Mark. The thing about sports is, as much as you like watching the game, it's really about the people that you're watching the game with. Otherwise, you just stay in your living room and listen to Tommy Vision on the radio and watch it online. So you like coming to the games. because it's a social aspect. And let's be honest, it's not going to be the same this year. It's not going to be like it was in March before this last season got shut down. It's not going to be the same experience. And that's not up to anybody more than it is to our elected officials. And the fact that we are tenants of the city of Allen means that we're subject to the city of Allen. We don't own our arena, and we're going to do what the governor and what the city tell us to do, and we're going to make it the best that we can. So just have some patience with us. And it's just like anything else right now. We don't know. And if I knew, I'd tell you. Believe me, I'd like to know, because I'd like to start planning. I'm a notorious detail-oriented planner. And it bothers me right now that we're, 86, 87 days away from our opening night against Rapid City, and I don't have all of the plans and know all of the things that I can and can't do. So let's just hang loose with that. Again, for those who are joining us late, right now, Governor Abbott says that we can have 50% capacity. More or less, our capacity for a hockey game at the Allen Event Center is 5,400. Cut that in half, that's 2,700. Then you have to apply social distancing to that. That means that we could be well under that 2,700. NFL teams right now are out there saying anywhere between 15 and 30% is what they're going to have in their venues. That's as we stand right now. Hopefully, we're going to improve. Things will be on the downswing in terms of the push of this virus and the advancement. Hopefully, it starts to slow down, and those restrictions can be relaxed, and we can get as many people in the Allen Event Center as possible. I don't know that information right now to put anything out there as I think it's going to be this, I think it's going to be that. I'm just inviting myself to get second guess, and I just don't deal in hypotheticals.
All right, next question here. Expanding the fan base is understandably critical to well-being and success of the hockey team. However, I would also argue that maintaining the existing fan base establishes a solid foundation. I've been a full club-level season ticket holder with 3 seats since the start of the organization back in 2009. During that time, I've seen a sharp reduction in the focus on the existing ticket holders when it comes to customer service. Although they are nice, I'm not referring to the freebies or parties. I'm talking about getting the sense that you are a priority. I knew my rep, and he knew me during the early years. He would be responsive and did everything that he could to make sure my needs were met. For several years now, I don't know who my rep is. I couldn't pick him out of the crowd. Often calls go without being, this is a long one, answered by the contact. So you kind of get the gist of that, Mike. Obviously, their concern is that there's been a lot of turnover, which you have a lot, of course, in the ticket world in minor league sports, and their concern is just not knowing who is, I guess, handling their money.
Well, great question. It's outstanding feedback, and as the new president, all I can do is move forward and share that our front office has a fans-first mentality. Okay, you're the most important person. One of the things that and Tommy will tell you this because he has to take them down to Mr. Parcel. Mr. Parcel is our mailing partner at the Allen Americans. All of our postage goes through them. And I challenge everybody in our organization to write 6 handwritten notes a day. And then we make copies on our copier and we stick them up on the wall. That's a reason for that. I want every time whenever people come walking down the hallway, they need to be looking up on the wall and they'll see those notes up there and they can remember why we have jobs. We have jobs because of fans. We have jobs because of sponsors. If we can't say thank you to you, if we can't be responsive to your needs, we don't need to have our jobs. Okay, I can't be any more blunt than that. We have a brand new head of our ticketing operation. Her name is Brittany Kushia, and she is the Senior Director of Ticket Sales and Service, and she'll start in her new role on August 3rd, 1 week from today. And she's currently driving as we speak from Milwaukee, Wisconsin down here. Previously, she worked in DFW with the Dallas Mavericks. She's also worked for a number of years with the Milwaukee Brewers. She worked with the Chicago Bears. She's worked in private sport management with Rock Sports. So she knows how to do things. And she is going to really love up the people that are our season ticket holders and future. And hopefully the president as well, obviously, because you're number one priority. So we're looking forward to that year-round engagement. And just want to make sure that we can earn your loyalty on a day-to-day basis.
All right, this is a good question here, Mike, from Scott Harvey. It was almost like he worked with you in a previous life. First one is, what are your plans for increasing brand awareness? And that is something you talk about every single day, so I know you'll love to answer that one. What are your thoughts on the future of the ECHL? How can teams and the league assure viability? When do you think the 2021 season will start? You already talked about that earlier. We're scheduled for October 16th. Are there plans for extending Coach Martinson's contract? That's been talked about as well. If you want to answer that one again. How do you build on the team's success in 1920? And will the team continue to be affiliated with the Minnesota Wild? And also ownership. So there's obviously a lot of questions in there. Some have already been answered, but I love the one about the brand awareness.
Sure thing. Really everything about my 32-year career in sports has in one way or fashion centered around branding and awareness. So I've done it for 28 years in college athletics. I was a broadcaster for about half of that time. Half time I was an administrator. I've been a Division I director of athletics at smaller schools, and I've also worked for some Power 5 schools in the ACC, SEC, and Big Ten. So I understand what it's like to build a brand. To me, it's very large part due into grassroots engagement. So it's our personal relationship with you. And we've talked about that a lot tonight. We've talked about developing content on our social media platforms to where it's meaningful content that builds that relationship with you and makes you excited about coming to our games and watching guys like Tyler skate, hearing about what past Americans players are doing as they play overseas, and maybe they come back again. You never know. Maybe that's a hint. Maybe it's not. You never know. You don't know me that well. But I'm always dropping little hints in there if you pay attention. But, we've recently hired our first ever marketing lead. We've never had a person totally dedicated to marketing on a daily basis. That was what they get up attacking the day to think about, what they go to bed dreaming about. And that's what Katie Ruthart's going to do. She joined us on July 7th. She's a Texas native. She's a University of North Texas graduate. She worked in the agency world here in Dallas before going to work for the #1 digital agency that deals with sports in the world, and their name is Forefront. They're based out of Chicago, Dallas, and Denver, kind of a three-headed hydra right there. But for the last 2 years, she's run the digital platforms for our parent club in the National League, the Minnesota Wild. She was driving an incredible return on advertising spend back to them. And so as we go for our advertising spend this year, and we're going to have a strong budget for that, but it really is going to be curtailed to what our actual ticket inventory is to sell. We're not going to be selling the 5,400 seats this year. So in addition to selling tickets through marketing, we're also building the brand. We're also selling merchandise. And with a name like the Americans, we can live very strongly here in the state of Texas, but we can also take that breadth and go really outside, really anywhere in the world. So that is another reason why we've gone very hot and heavy after the redefinition of our digital platforms. In terms for the ECHL, I love this league. I love the 25 other teams who are vying for second place behind the Allen Americans. We're going to get another championship. Steve wants another ring. I have 29 championship rings. I need a 30th to make my case full so I can get another case from the people at Jostens. We just need to play games right now, folks. Everybody's a little bat crazy right now about, just sitting around and looking at the same people and wishing we were playing hockey. Again, usually we have a 3.5, 4 month off season. Now it's going to be almost double, if not a little bit more than that. So we just got to hang in there and keep pushing. Marty's signing a good team. We'll talk about his contract when he gets back from Illinois, and he'll drive that process by coming to myself, and then I'll take it forward to Jack, and we'll probably all sit down and have a Molson and talk about that a little bit. I tried to get a Lone Star beer the other day, and I couldn't find one, so they don't serve that at Kelly's, so that was disappointing. Actually, at Doty's, they didn't have it. But team ownership is the same as it's been the last 3 years. We're now heading into a fourth season with Jack Galati. He's known as a serial entrepreneur. He's like every other owner in minor league sports. You're always looking around to see if somebody wants to buy things. And it's no secret. The team was on the block last year. It's not on the block right now. You can believe me or not believe me, but I'm not going to lie to you. I have no reason to do that. I just got to know you, so I'm only as good as my word, and I'm telling you the truth as I know it. He charged me. Jack hired me and made me an offer to take over this club. I was very happy in Orlando, Florida, but I love a challenge, and I love being a part of winners. And the one thing I know about the Allen Americans is in the 10 and a half seasons that you played hockey here, you're winners. You're the best on-ice product in this league. We have a challenge to make our front office meet that same standard of excellence. And can't wait to do that and meet the challenge that was put in front of me and now the other fine professionals that are part of our front office.
Next one, Mike, here is from season ticket holder Brian Wade. I was told in May we should be receiving a refund for last year's canceled games, but to date, we have not received nothing. We received anything at this time. Will we be receiving a refund? We do not want season tickets for the upcoming season because we might be moving in the fall. And that, again, is from Brian Wade.
Sure, and I don't know if Brian's on the call tonight, but we did reach out to Brian today with a cell phone call and an email. Obviously, if you're not going to renew your season tickets, you're going to get a refund check. So just call us in the office, or better yet, it's always better to email because we know it's going to get to us. And that's tickets@allenamericans.com. We'll take care of you right away. We hope that you'll renew. If you're moving, it's a little tough. I did talk to somebody today that drives an hour each way. And they come in to see this team play. I mean, this team is something that people want to be a part of. And hopefully you'll continue wanting to be a part of it. But if you choose not to, obviously you have a lot of options for your entertainment dollar. And there's also the added challenge this year of the COVID-19 situation. So we appreciate everybody. If you choose to be our fan in the stands, digitally, remotely, however you make it go, that's important.
Okay, Jay sent a question in, but it was answered earlier. Jay, I don't know if you have another question that you want to throw out here. Mike, feel free. You can be our first one to jump in from the panel tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy. Just curious, assuming that we're looking at maybe 1/3 capacity, would you guys prioritize season ticket holders to attend in-person games over, folks that might just be, looking to buy tickets day of, that sort of thing?
Jay, that's a great question. And I can tell you, this is where my experience in college athletics, I think, really pays dividends, because I'm used to being at schools because of the, donations that are made. They reseat arenas every year. And it's a tough situation, but I know how that's done. So what we're doing right now is we're going through as a precaution, okay? We hope that all of these things, restrictions are not in place and we actually drop the puck. But if they are, we're going to have to go through a reseating, if you will. And how we'll do that is we're going through and trying to do our best of our ability. We'll seat all the full season ticket holders first, okay? And we're trying to put a priority list based on the records that we have. Okay, we've only been a Ticketmaster for 3 years. And some of the records here are not the best. But I'd rather go through and prioritize our full season ticket holders and then our half season ticket holders, and then go from there with people that buy flex plans and 6-game plans and things like that. But our number one priority is going to be obviously the people who have committed the most amount of investment of their time and support to us. And those are our longtime season ticket holders. So I hope that answers your question. But absolutely, you have to make sure that the people who are your full ticket holders are getting the first shot.
Thank you, Mike.
Sure thing.
Gilly
actually sent in a question, and I think we addressed this earlier, Gilly, but and we tried to reach out to you today. I just want to make sure that Chase got in touch with you. But if they didn't, you say, how can we ensure that we did receive our credit for the unplayed games last season? It doesn't show in your ticket account on Ticketmaster. Well, Gilly, we were going to reach out to you today. If we didn't make contact with you today, we will do so this week. Hopefully our next in-office operations engagement is coming up on Wednesday. So if you will send me an email at mike@allenamericans.com, give me the best number and the best time to call you. I will call you personally with Chase Richardson from our ticket operations group, and we'll take care of you on Wednesday. So hopefully Gilly is excited by that. And All right.
Sounds good. I'm going to come back up top. I've always wanted to host the Hollywood Squares, but let's go to Larry, who is right next to me on the panel. Larry, do you have a question for Mike? If you do, you can unmute. All right, Larry, no problem. We'll move on. JJ is next to Larry. JJ, do you have a question?
No, but I've had a lot of mine answered already, so that's good.
Are you
All
happy,
right.
JJ? Are you doing okay tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good tonight. I want to go back to hockey, though.
No doubt. Well, and tell you what, if you just want to come over and be cold in the arena, you can come up and see us in the office. We've
Ooh.
made a one thing that we've done, and hopefully you'll all come by the office at some point, but we have redone the front part of our office to where we have a nice little sitting area. We have 4 pictures up of our 4 championship teams. And if you're going to celebrate your traditions, you got to do that with class. And soon we're also going to have a nice picture up of Marty up there, our GM of the year in the ECHL and the winningest coach, obviously, in Americans history. And we'll also, I was talking to the commission today, we're going to put a picture of Ryan Creelan up there as well. He said, but Marty and Ryan, though, say that we want to make sure that Tommy chooses a good picture. Marty said not to choose a picture with his mouth wide open. So, Tommy, you got to make sure we pick a good one of the coach.
Do the flex
He
off.
is
Use
He's
the,
very picky about photos. All right, let's go next to Tony's iPad. Tony, do you have a question for Mike Waddell? All right, Tony, that silence means everything. No problem, buddy. Thanks for being here tonight. Ed and Sherry Bonneman, are you there, Ed? Hello, Ed.
I'm here.
How are you doing, Ed?
Good.
Well, fire away if you have a question. Mike's ready.
Not right now.
All
Well,
right.
Hey, just glad.
Call me later.
I'll send Mike an email.
Great. Well, thank you, Ed.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Next to Ed is Maras. Maras, do you have a question for Mike Waddell? All righty, no problem. Moving on. Shane and Sarah, do you have a question for Mike Waddell? All right.
Why don't
Move over.
if anybody has a question, why don't you just say in the chat, because we have 56 people on there right now. And there, Shane, he talked to me today, so good that we made connections right there. Shane can vouch for the fact that I try to get back to you when I hear it. Sam, you have a question. Go for it.
So you answered most of my questions, but my one question is when you said everything was going to go electronically, I just happened to look, will season tickets eventually show up on there?
Yes, I mean, right now we're still waiting for the final word. I don't want to go through and put everything together until we absolutely positively know that we're past the point of no return and there won't be any changes. And that's not just to the date of the season. That's also to how many teams actually play. You know, there's always a chance. I mean, look at Major League Baseball and what's going on with the Marlins right now. What happened with Major League Soccer, the National Professional Women's Soccer League, Major League Lacrosse this past weekend. Major League Lacrosse was down to their final 4 teams, and 2 teams in one semifinal just said, we're not playing. So the one semifinal ended up being the championship game. So as soon as we get a definitive list, yes, your season tickets will show up electronically.
One more. If, and I hate even asking this, if they have a season but won't allow fans, will things get reimbursed? Do we know?
Yeah, Sam, this is an easy one. If there are no fans, we won't play.
Okay.
Because there's no reason for the ECHL or any team that's not, look, the NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, they can all play games because they get their money from TV. They could really care less if, I mean, 1% of the NFL fan ever even attends a game in their lifetime. That's how vast their TV power is. So, so for us, if there are no fans, there's no games.
Okay.
So we will not play.
All right. Thank you.
Sure thing. Let's see
All right,
here.
Gary,
Let's see.
I think Gary had one here about the Ice Angels, Mike. I wanted to know if they're bringing it back.
That's our hope. Stephanie does a great job with the Ice Angels. And the one thing that we're trying to figure out, along with all these rules and regulations, is actually how they can go out and interact. And the same for a lot of things. You folks know the games better than I do. Obviously, you've been to them. But, it goes down to something as simple as a chuck-a-puck. How do you give people a chuck-a-puck, have them throw them on the ice, and then have us go out and retrieve those without it being some type of a transmission issue? That might be something that we're not even allowed to do. A lot of these things will not be up to our decision, and that's just the bottom line. I wish I could say something different. Let's see here. Troy Burmaster asked if there's any chance for a sneak preview on the next signing. No, I don't do sneak previews, so stay tuned. You get nothing from me. No cheating here, Troy. Let's see here. Sam, has Topping signed for 2021? That's Michelle Ushers. Tommy, can you answer that one?
To my knowledge, I've not seen his name come up on our list as of yet.
Good. Troy asked what kind of events are planned for the season ticket holders. Well, the first thing we're going to do, and I don't know if Katie's still on the line, but we're going to do a skate, 2 1-hour skates in the main arena. Because the ice is back in the AEC right now for adult and youth league play and whatever they want to do right now. So we're going to do something like that. Just give you a chance to, get out and come to the arena again. Because nobody felt good about the way the season ended. So you want to get back out to the arena. I want to meet you. And you want to see Biscuit. And we have lots of stuff that we're going to have as door prizes. So that'll be fun. We're going to do some the NHL playoff watch parties, probably over at Doty's. We're going to do that. And again, another opportunity for you to meet our new staff and have some nice door prizes that are coming down from the big club out of Minneapolis. So they're going to send some cool stuff down. Tommy, earlier this offseason, had the general manager of the Minnesota Wild, Bill Guerin, on, right, Tommy? Yes. So he had him on, so you can go back and look at that. But we're excited about our relationship with the Wild. And again, not only did Tommy have their GM on, but we also hired their digital platform manager for the last 2 years. So we have a great relationship with Minnesota, and that's only getting stronger.
Yeah, Garen, by the way, great guy. Former Dallas Star player and a very popular player back in the day. So lucky enough to know him and cover the Stars back when he was playing. So that's the one thing made a lot of people think about our relationship with Minnesota. I can speak on that one, Mike. I mean, Marty's got a long-time relationship with the current manager of the Iowa general manager of the Wild, and this is by far the strongest relationship we've had with an AHL franchise in my now going to be 12 years here.
Right. Morass says, so what's the email address for tickets? Again, that's tickets@allenamericans.com. Shane and Sarah roll in with, is there a planned date that the half-season ticket holders need to have their games selected by? No, not right now, because to be honest with you, I just want to wait and see how this NHL thing goes down. There could still be a change to the ECHL schedule. I don't know that. Right now, we're 86 days and about 23 hours away from our opener. That could change. And a lot of that depends on what's going on right now in the NBA bubble and the NHL bubble, what the NHL, brass decides to do with the start of their season, what the AHL brass decides to do with the start of their season. There's just a lot of unknowns right now. So no, we don't have those dates for you right now. And, I would hope to have those dates sooner than later, but to put even a time limit on that, I can't do. Let's see, for the season ticket holders that paid in full for 2021 prior to the cancellation of the season, how is that being handled for refunds of last season? The refund should already be applied in your Allen Americans account on Ticketmaster. So check that. If it hasn't been applied, roll into us on tickets@allenamericans.com with an email, and we'll get on your stuff. Morath says, thank you. Shannon Sarah says, sounds good. Here's GL Gardner. Love this. I share season tickets with someone, and we have always been able to have one person on the account. Is there something that can be changed? I don't know. We'll ask. Ticketmaster is always evolving their platform. So I can see, I think it has to be one control name, but I will certainly look into that. Again, G.L. Gardner, I don't know if you're a male or a female, but if you want to send me an email, I will definitely get on that and get back to you. I think that's about all that we have right now, TD. Oh, here's one.
All right.
Here's one from Lorna Holly. Spells her name differently than my favorite musician of Lubbock, Buddy Holly. But will ECHL be televising all of our games, and will it cost less than last year? That's a good question. At our Board of Governors meeting over the summer, we did talk about a new plan, but I haven't gotten the final rundown of that yet. I do think we're changing providers this year. Tommy, do you have any additional information on that?
Yes, and obviously we get the concern folks all the time, talking about the money issue. Trust me, that's been brought up at the league meetings every year. Obviously, it's expensive. We understand that, but we appreciate you continuing to buy because, our numbers have gone up and up every year of people that are tuning into the broadcast, as well as those who are watching on ECHL TV, not to mention the fact we've had a great product to watch. So we appreciate you continuing. All I can tell you is every year they're trying to make it better. Obviously, with the HD edition over the last couple of years, I know it was always frustrating. We'd get a lot of complaints from people that would go out to bars to watch the game, and it wasn't in HD. But I can tell you now, every building is, after last year, every building is HD. So you should have the same quality, no matter if we're in Norfolk or Boise, Idaho, or in Allen, Texas. So it should all look the same. Sometimes the camera operators are different. We understand that. We feel like we have some of the best in Allen, but sometimes we're on the road somewhere, and for whatever reason, the camera operators aren't quite as good as they are in Allen. So I see those complaints. Trust me, every time you send a complaint during the game, I forward that on to the league. So every question is being looked at, and I know they're trying to do the best they can to make our product out there equal or just as good as the NHL or the American Hockey League.
And I'll tell you, they're probably charging us about the same thing that they charge the NHL or the AHL, because I saw our bill for this coming year, and our costs are going up. So, but at the end of the day, that's also going to be a way for us to best engage a lot of fans, because we're not going to be at a full capacity. I don't know what that is right now, but we're not going to be at a full capacity like we have been in past years. So all the more reason to make sure that our video feed is pristine. And as soon as we have some definitive information on that, we'll get that to you. Let's see here. Gilly Estes back for a fourth time. Sorry, I was late, but no printed season ticket books? That's correct. We're going digital only this year. I know you kept those in the past as souvenirs of the season. It's just not something that we can continue to do at this time and ensure the safety of everybody. So I apologize for that, but we're going to come up with some different ways to make sure that we do something nice for our full season ticket holders that have had those books in the past. And just stay tuned with us on that. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see, shoot it to me, and it might end up coming true. We've had from Maya Ellis, I've always had paper tickets. How do I find my Ticketmaster account? Send me an email at mike@allenamericans.com, and I will find your information for you and get back in touch with you, but also include a cell phone number where I can text and, get back in touch with you. I'll probably call you as well because I like to talk to people. When will our regular reps, mine was Allie Atkinson, return from furlough? I don't know. Again, right now we're working with a streamlined operation, much like what is done in a lot of other ECHL cities. We were one of the last teams in the ECHL to actually do a furlough, and we did that for business reasons. And like small businesses all across Texas and around the nation, we're going through some challenges right now. So, we hope to be able to bring back everybody as soon as possible, but we're also working with those folks to make sure that they're getting all the benefits that they can take advantage of right now. And it's a tough time. My son today found out he was furloughed from Clemson. So, everybody's going through this, and it's a tough time, and keep them in your thoughts. I know they appreciate your kindness and your loyalty. Let's see. In the past, we've had trouble connecting to our accounts digitally at the gate. Yes, and Mike McDermott is the man from the city of Allen who is in charge of all the IT, and we're making sure that is all beefed up and hopefully taken care of this year. So, that's a challenge for the city of Allen. They have to up their game and provide that kind of service to us. So I appreciate that feedback. Let's see here. Maya said, thanks. Great. Will VIP, Josh, good question here. Will VIP parking passes be digital also? Yes. So last week when I attended the race out at Texas Motor Speedway, my tickets were digital, my parking pass was digital, and we made that all go well. So, that was run by Ticketmaster. So Ticketmaster, you'll find, does a really nice job, and hopefully we'll have connectivity and everything will be Jim Dandy in that regard. So, hey, we're update. Hey, how about this? Gus Payne just sent me an email. This is fun. In regards to bringing Allie and others back from furlough, why are you hiring new people? Well, new people do different jobs, Gus. We have different things that need to be done. We have a host of new folks that are coming in, but everybody does a different job. And so that's my job as the leader of this organization to prioritize what needs to be there and when it needs to be added and when we need to make adjustments. So, that's what I've done for 32 years. I have a pretty good track record of success, and, we'll bring back people as soon as possible. There are ECHL rule changes coming up that will be addressed later. I don't deal in hockey. You don't want me talking about hockey. So Tommy can ask that of Marty on his next visit with them on his podcast. Can you tell me how many full season ticket holders there currently are? Well, how many that have renewed this year, or how many were around last year? I'd say we're probably around 500 that have renewed for this year. Might be rounding up a little bit here or there, but we still have some renewals to get done. But there are a lot of people that I've talked to and that I've heard from who say that until they really feel safe with the way that the virus is being handled, that they don't feel comfortable renewing their season ticket holder status. I understand that. That's why we're pushing the deadline back. We already have pushed that deadline back from where it was originally. There are also people that feel like, and this could be so as well, that the schedule might change a little bit. I can tell you that I fill out a survey for the ECHL every Monday, and it includes what our current status is with the city of Allen, what our current capacity load is, what our sellable inventory is in terms of social distancing, and what our desires are in terms of the coming season. And our desires are to play a full 36 game home and away schedule, 72 regular season games. That's our goal. And but we're one of 26 teams. And that's the beautiful thing about professional sports. We have our next Board of Governors meeting coming up here in a few weeks. And, we'll go from there. But as soon as I know something for sure, and that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, I will communicate that through a myriad of social avalanche that will make your head spin. Let's see here. The good ones here. From Dale's iPad. Man, Dale. I like that name. Dale Earnhardt was my favorite driver. Dale Inman was my favorite crew chief. How do I get my jerseys that were sent off to get signed? I have 3 sent out. Now, did you send those to us, Dale, or did you send those to somebody else? I need a little bit more information, but, Michelle Martinson runs our team store, and if you get me that information, that's good. Let's see here. Gilly. Tim Carroll. Tim Carroll, my Rotarian mentor of the Noontime Allen Rotary Club. Has there been conversation about pushing the season into November or December like some other sports have done? Yes, there have been lots of different conversations. But again, we will have a vote coming up at our next Board of Governors meeting, and when there is news to report, we will come back at you. Let's see here. Gilly. Man, Gilly's awesome. She's gonna get the star of the call here. Are you considering more healthy options in the concession stands for the upcoming season? Maybe some low carb options. That'd be good for me. I'm on keto right now. Also, can you add a beverage only line at each stand? I will mention that to the city of Akron. The Allen Americans Professional Hockey Club has zero input into how the food and beverage operations run at the Allen Event Center. In terms of making decisions, we can make suggestions just like you. So from you, Gilly, to me, to them, that's how that will go. It's kind of like you'll get an assist if I score a goal on that one. So, again, you're the star of the match here. Galaxy Note 9. Hopefully the Galaxy Note will not explode. With a good possibility the NHL would start next season in December, can you see a possible late December or January ECHL pushback to start a full season? I saw Fort Wayne send a letter out to their fans that they plan to play a full 72-game season, even if it starts in January. I pretty much just said the same thing, didn't I? So you get it here live, they got it on paper. So you get it with a tinge of humor. So yes, thank you for the Galaxy Note 9 thumbs up. So that is good to hear. Man, we are just rolling here, Tommy. We're down though. We're down 9. We're starting to lose some viewers here. So we're down to 47 people.
We had one mic earlier. I think we didn't answer it. It was a question from Ed Bonneman. Wanted to know. I guess last season they had the package and they have not been refunded their money from New Lion. For their purchase for the ECHL TV package.
So Ed, just send us an email, and between Tommy and myself, we'll bird dog that for you. Dale's iPad says about his jerseys given to Michelle at the store, and since she was furloughed, she said that Cayman was supposed to contact me on getting them back. I will talk to Double K Cayman Kessler about that tomorrow. So Dale, and if you can send me via your iPad an email at mike@allenamericans.com, and just be specific, include your last name. I'm assuming it's not Ipid. So if your name's not iPad, just send that to me and everything, and I'll make sure that you get your stuff back. That's good. Hopefully I can get a thumbs up from Dale's iPad. Oh, I'm waiting for that emoji. Here we go. Tim Carroll again. Assuming the upper league schedules will be complicated, will that impact what players are available or who will have opportunities to move up, etc.? I don't know. I don't really deal in the hockey side of the things, but that would seem to make sense. But again, I can't really comment on that, Tim, but that's a good question. Galaxy Note 9. Heard there was a rumor there might be a tweak to the team logo. I joined late. Can you comment on that if it wasn't mentioned earlier? Hey, we have good spies. Not really a tweak. We're adding some things in. The Allen Americans have had one logo only for the past, one branding mark, I would say, for the past, forever. There was a shield at one point that had no Allen Americans, but our shield with Allen Americans has been it. What we have done is put together some word marks. We have some secondary marks. Toledo has 8 different marks that they can use at different points for different things. And we're going to have some cool combinations. In fact, one of them that I really like, showcases our legacy and the fact that we've won 4 championships. So it's just a way to remind people that, yeah, we might have been only in the ECHL for a short time, but we already have the second most titles of anybody behind South Carolina's 3. And with our 4 championships in the last 10 full seasons, it's kind of hard to beat that with a stick if you're anybody in the hockey world. So we're going to take that, we're going to run with it, and we're going to have some fun with some hot to market items this year in the team shop, and try to give you something that is a little fresh. Also, the ECHL owns our primary mark. So anything that you have with the, like this one, with the Allen Americans logo right there, that's an ECHL license mark. Everything else that we do is an Allen Americans license mark. So just to give you some things, there is a part 1 of this process that will come out this year, and there's part 2 that will come out following the season. So it's a little more complicated than probably what you anticipated there, but yes, you are absolutely correct. So it'll be fun. Be fun stuff indeed. All righty. Let's see here.
Well, Mike, it looks like we don't have any new questions coming in.
Well, we have one. Galaxy.
Yeah, there's the one that popped up.
Yeah, Galaxy Note 9. We got more coming in. Karen even shooting something in. Are the front office to having a couple of alternate jerseys? I don't know what that means. I noticed Wichita and Tulsa have several like Sundays only jerseys, etc. Last year, out of 36 home games planned, we had 10 alternate jerseys or 10 different jerseys in addition to our regular reds and whites. So, yeah, I mean, you know, that's something that you got to look at once we get a final schedule. I mean, we have a tentative lineup right now. I can tell you that we're going to do a Nickelodeon night because that's coming through the ECHL. We'll do a DC night, a Marvel night, and a Star Trek night. Live long and prosper. Go Spock. But you know, we're probably going to do some other stuff. I was talking to some Star Wars buffs in the area. In fact, one that does our IT at the Allen Event Center about a Star Wars night. We're talking about doing that one sometime in January based on the current schedule. But again, everything is subject to change. There's no other way to put that. Let's see here. Sorry I joined late. If this was asked and answered, I apologize. No problem. Karen, provided fans are able to get into the games, are you still planning the additional games such as college games and fire versus police games? We also drive over an hour, so we love getting to see extra games. I love that too. You know, one of the groups that I've been followed by on my social media accounts, and you can follow me at WAD Sport. So please follow me because I like to be pretty active on that. And I love to interact with you and see what you're posting about as well. It's a great way for me to get to know you. But yeah, the Dallas Baptist folks are good. I would personally like to have a game, and I haven't talked to Steve about this, so I'm probably talking a little bit out of order, but I'd love to bring in Steve's and Michelle's son, Logan, and his NAHL team into play a game so we could see that and really give their family a chance to see Logan play and, you know, do some things with the high schools, do some things with the fire and police. I love our police department here in Allen. Haven't gotten to know our fire department yet as well, but Officer Justin Dela Cruz and his Officer Maxwell campaign has really already gotten a special place in my heart. And, you know, you can't say thank you enough to our fire and police and our first responders, EMS, medical workers. I worked for 2 years at the United States Military Academy at West Point. So go Army, beat Navy, Air Force, whatever. But I'm just kidding. I love them all. And, you know, very patriotic guys. So the fact that I work for the Americans is a thrill. Let's see here. Open to, yes, I got that. Open to. We're open to as many alternate jersey ideas as you have. So bring those up. Since you were coming up with other marketing logos, is there a chance of getting an Allen Americans blanket in the shop? Sure. William D. Kapka. Love that one. Thumbs up from Karen. And let's see, any plans on changing up the DJ for this year? Jay just has that great mugshot. I'm gonna have to get somebody to take a picture of me like that. You really look good there. Yeah, I'd love to hear from people. Send me your ideas about the game experience. I've heard some things about how it's evolved over the years. We'd just like to hear more specific feedback. That's one of the things that we're going to talk to our fan council about in detail. So lots of things that we've talked about there. What about an alumni game again? Wow, I'd love to do that. Some of the things that we're talking about, and these are just things that we're spitballing right now. But again, I like to do events. I like to build excitement, build the momentum leading into the start of the season. So I really like to be able to do a luncheon prior to the first game. You know, at some point earlier in that week, maybe on the Monday or Tuesday before our Friday or Saturday opener. I'd like to be able to do an end of the year banquet to where it's kind of like the ESPYs where we have a red carpet, people walk in, get their pictures made, and then we see the players go up and we have our own team awards. And that's always better when you can do it with a championship ring presentation. I love that. What is your Twitter account? Well, Kevin Dury, my Twitter account is at WADSport, WADSPORT. I appreciate that. Karen's iPhone. We enjoy seeing kids play in other community teams. Awesome. Josh, IW, awesome. Let's see, Gilly. Man, Gilly coming through, Tommy. I mean, Gilly we're losing viewers, but we're gaining Gillies. Here, a fundraiser for something that could be take over leftover t-shirt and have a t-shirt quilt made. I like that. Best employee I ever had when she resigned to take a job at Daytona International Speedway gave me a t-shirt quilt made up of all the promotional t-shirts we gave away. So that was cool. I agree. Will face masks with the Americans logo be sold by the team store? I can say that we're working on some gator designs right now. And gators are those full mask things that you go up. I have big ears, so I keep popping the mask. So, but I love the gators, and who knows how we might be able to get those to you. So stay tuned on that. Jay would like to provide feedback, Mike, and FYI, my mugshot is my LinkedIn profile pic, so I guess it automatically got linked from Zoom. You're a pro. You're a digital pro. I love it. Is there a golf scramble best ball plan prior to the season start again this year? Yeah, it might be a snowball golf tournament, but Tommy is the resident Waters Creek pro. So, you know, he's working with the city of Allen that really puts that tournament on. And, you know, we're the beneficiary of that. So if we can't do it prior to the season this year, we want to do it when the players are in town. It might be something that we do later in the summer. I can't answer that right now. Yes, the COVID mask, I want one too. I bought some off Amazon, but I prefer the gaiters, the rag things to the sock-like things rather than the regular mask. Let's see here. Karen, again. The fan clubs does things like t-shirt quilts and stuff for fundraising stuff in the bus and player apartments. That's awesome. Well, I tell you, to everybody who's a member of the fan club and to Greg and Shirley and Beth and all the people who are part of that, thank you. Because just do an outstanding job, and we couldn't have the support that we give our athletes without having the fan club. So thank you for that. The only complaint I've had in the past few years is that we've had tickets and some of the season ticket holder perks were advertised last minute, not held on time. Is that something that can be addressed? Well, yes, Karen, it is, because we need to be doing something every month for you out of the year. Some will be bigger than others, and some you'll probably like more than others. Some you might not be able to go to. But if we're not doing something every month out of the year, then we failed, and that's going to start up here in August. So thank you for that. Yes, Gilly, you can purchase American face masks through the ECHL and benefit the Players Fund. So good point, and you can do that right now. Top golf parties with season ticket holders and players have always been a lot of fun in the past. I like that, and Tommy is a awesome golfer, so I get him on my team. Yes, go to ECHL.com, Jay, and you can poke around in their store, and that's awesome. And then Gilly provided the mask right there. It's at Protective Knit, PROTECTIVE knit, KNIT.com. Yes, please join the fan club and help with the crafts. Yes, I like the fan club, love the fan club. I just don't know how we get along without it. So Greg Simpson was one of my first guys that I sat down with over at Bill's Cafe. I would like to have everybody's feedback right now. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. Do you prefer Bill's Cafe or Allen Cafe for breakfast in Allen? And if there's another place I should try, where should I go? I did notice at Kelly's today that on their menu they had shrimp and grit. I usually go with shrimp and grits. I like to have more than one grit. It must be a really big grit, but just kidding. All right, so we're running out of time here. We're down to 39. I think Mama's Cafe. Allen Cafe, Ernie, I've been there. Poor Richards from Maya is really good. Bill's Cafe is really good. Extravaganza is good. Only if you're picking up the tab, Jay. That sounds like it's expensive. Poor Richards, and if you've ever been to Kelly's, just mention that you're with the Allen Americans. They'll give you a nice little discount on that. Karen, if you write in this many questions, you deserve to get a discount. I have the smoked wings over there. They're really awesome right now because I'm trying to watch my carb intake. But Tommy, I think we are to the point that we can circle the wagons and get you back to the grandkids there in South Carolina. What do you say?
Yeah, and figure out how to get my my keys out of my locked car.
I didn't want to mention that, but you know what? If anybody can do it, you can.
If anybody knows a good locksmith in Beaufort, South Carolina, just kidding. Mike, this was great. Thanks for doing this tonight. I know it's much appreciated by the fans, getting a chance to meet you and see you for the first time before the season. And obviously, you answered some great questions tonight, some that you can't answer because obviously, you know, right now, all we know is our season is starting on October the 16th, and we're planning for that.
Well, Bill Capsco brought up a good thing. If you can call into OnStar, they can unlock your car. So do you have that?
Fortunately, I do not.
That's not good. Well, you know, maybe they can still send a courtesy pulse over there. But let me finish with this. First of all, thank you to all the fans who have tuned in tonight, to those of you who sent in questions via email. It really means a lot because, you know, I took over this team and ran it for the first, from March 25th until June the 1st. I wrote it, you know, from remote. And I haven't had a chance to see a game. I haven't had a chance to meet a lot of you face to face, but I will. If you don't get a chance to meet me at some form or fashion, just call me up. I'll come meet you downstairs. We'll go over, get a drink. We'll eat some wings. We'll do whatever it is you like to do. Because at the end of the day, I want to know you. I'll be the guy rolling around the arena giving you a high five, hopefully in person. If not, we'll do an air high five. But I literally, I was out of sports for about 7 months after my football league, you know, collapsed. I was the president of the Orlando team in the Alliance of American Football, and Steve Spurrier was my head coach, and we were the best team in that league. And then all of a sudden, it died on April 2nd, 2019. And I have a company that is now in trust, but I have a company that I ran for the next 7 months, and I just really miss fans. And to have the opportunity to come back and now to work in the ECHL where I cut my teeth as a young whippersnapper back with the Greensboro Monarchs, it really means a lot to me. I can't wait to be out there. I'm already talking to some of my friends from the old ECHL. One of those, if you saw the movie Slapshot, I'm trying to work right now with my friend Steve Carlson, who is Steve Hansen, to come in and do a Hansen's night when we play Wichita. Those sorry guns, we're going to have a hearse out front that says Wichita Welcome Wagon. Probably have the ambulance out front with the red and whites coming in as we welcome them to the building as they come down the ramp. And then Steve's guys are going to go out there and show them what Allen hockey's all about. But that's what it is. It's Allen. It's you. It's our fans. This is why we're here. Without you, we don't matter. And I appreciate your care for our staff. I appreciate your care for our athletes and your support of the ECHL Player Relief Fund. I know Steve and Michelle really appreciate your support as well. And I want to thank Katie Ruthart, who's our new Director of Digital Marketing and Analytics, for putting this together, and for Tommy Daniels, the absolute all-star of our staff, to come in and do this on his vacation, ignoring his grandkids who have now locked his keys in his car, have set his luggage on fire, and are probably going to do something to him when he's asleep tonight. But that's the fun of grandkids. You know, you get to go and spoil them and then leave. But thank you very much. We'll do this as often as you want. Tommy and I love to talk. So anytime you want to listen to us, we'll probably talk for you.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate every one of you. And we'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. In the meantime, stay safe out there and go Americans.
Live in the red.